school, whereas Gear and Nox have been playing for a long, long time.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure exactly what they're going to change up.
Both teams are ready up, James. Are you ready to go?
I was born ready.
Ah, we're born ready. So in 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome everyone here to VanillaTV with Pledge and Admirable, covering the second game in ETF2L Week 3 of Season 11 between Epsilon eSports in the red trunks and Team Infused in the blue trunks. And we can see Walter's running sniper here on CP Freight, a new map. This is the way how we're going to play Freight from now on, James. Cover us through it.
Wow, this is Epsilon playing a super defensive strat here, holding up that wall. They had a sniper, but they were positioned quite well. Stefan was dancing around on top of that wall, trying to deny any aggression, but Randa sort of got caught round the corner right there, and a scout just came in and meat shot at him between the shoulder blades. And look at this really aggressive play from Stefan. Just goes totally against the run of play right there. You would think that Infused were going to roll in and cap that point, and Stefan's like, no, I've got like a 2-second window here where I can kill Cookye. I'm going to go in and meat shot him twice and run out. Unbelievable.
So it really seems, especially looking at that middle, that Infused know. Like, they know Nox is going to run a perma heavy, and they're going to use that as much to their advantage as they possibly can. See Gear trying to roam in from the water is a very popular trick. I've played this map a lot, James, over the past week, because my team has Freight this Sunday in ETF2L, so we've played it a lot. It feels, and I want to bring up the discussion about Freight just before the season, just a little bit, because both teams don't have Uber just yet. It looks like Infused is going to push it from Water Room just a little bit, seeing what they can do. But a lot of teams don't like the map whatsoever because of the very easy ways that you can hold second and last. What is your opinion on it, James?
Yeah, it's just it's a punishing map. You know, it's like from a different design methodology to Badlands, I guess, whatever you want to say. And people just get frustrated because they try and play it the same way they play other maps, and they're like, oh, this doesn't work, and get mad. But really, you just have to think about it differently. It's all about having an analytical mindset right here. And look at this soldier right there. Who was that?
Yeah, I was looking at
jumped right onto the lamp. That was sick.
Second soldier coming in though, he's going to get knocked away by the sentry and immediately gets taken out. The sentry's still alive now, so there's no way for Infused to actually push this. And just going back into the thing that I said earlier, this map is not liked by the top TF2 community whatsoever because of the way that it's easy to defend. And we can see here exactly why. This short entrance where numlocked is trying to make something happen, Randa actually does get taken out, so Infused is going to go back and dunc gets sniped. Good shot, second shot by Walters. Wow. Getting ridiculous there for just a little second, and with just flisko, numlocked now alive, numlocked gets taken down, taking out Nox in the process, but with just flisko alive, going to be looking for him, and let's see if someone dies to the train. And by the way, guys, just want to mention for just a little bit, F2 gets taken out by Greg, well played. You still have the time for the start of the second round. Message Trail and IRC, what is going to be the second round time? Message him in IRC, you need to query Trail, TRELL, for the second total round time. You can win a hat, so please do that.
Stefan's behind enemy lines right here. He's taking out Greg at the respawn right there, and he's onto numlocked here. This is pretty dangerous. There's 3 players right now looking for Stefan behind, right, and he's buying his team vital time here because F2 is at a huge Uber disadvantage, 30%, but it might not matter because Epsilon are rolling out a super turtle strategy right here. Actually, Gear has had to switch back from engineer there to soldier so he can build Uber. They do have Nox playing heavy, Walter's on sniper, and it'll be interesting to see what Stefan spawns out. Scout, I imagine, because he's just a beast. Oh, he's going pyro there.
How do you push last? Tell me, James, how do you push it?
Well, you usually try and go without Uber like they're doing right here, but this Stefan just nullified that Uber right there. Numlocked has jumped in, he's getting focused, but they need to just heal up right now. Ooh, this is...
Oh, Uber comes in.
Pretty dangerous right
barely out in time.
There's a train behind as well, and Walters is just stepping forward trying to catch anybody he can in his crosshair.
Yeah, there you come.
Infused have been healed up and they're going to come right in, but they need to spread out a little bit. There's a scout coming in the flank. It's Cookye. He makes a play for F2, but Walters body shots him out of the air right there. Oh my god.
That scout Stefan did so much work there for Epsilon. He really made sure that everyone had to really had to do one step back from Infused. Like, they wanted to go in, they wanted to... Greg now coming in as heavy, taking out Stefan, Walters, and Gear. What, Greg? What? And F2 takes him down, caps the point by himself. But F2 now gets taken down. This is how you want to push last, James. I want to point this out. The way you push last is you get wiped, your second point gets recapped, you kill them all, and then you win. That is the most successful way I have played Freight over the past week. That is how you want to push last. I'm not joking. I'm genuinely serious.
Actually, I really liked the initial push of Infused. You know, they came in from different angles, and it was sort of tiered in that they Ubered through and forced, and then spiked off a little bit, and everyone else started coming in from the slope. But they were doing a lot of damage from long range. You know, they weren't committing. They were just trying to stay alive for as long as possible, and it worked well. Like, they had a real player advantage there, but they just couldn't seem to kill that heavy. And that was KnOxXx again, just smarter than the average bear.
Double engine for just a second. Gear's going to keep it while Walters goes back and plays sniper. See how Epsilon's going to defend this. Here we go. This is what you see on Freight Last, guys. This is not weird. If you're just tuning in and you only know TF2 and Battlelands and Granary and maps like that, this is not weird on Freight Last. Sniper, Pyro, Engineer. This is not awkward. Because see a soldier coming in. He's probably going to get taken out in just a second. Here we go. Sentry does get taken out. And the Uber on Flisko from Infused has already run out. Uber now comes in from Epsilon. They're going to need to pick up the frags. It doesn't look like it. And the damage does come in a little bit, but Infused is definitely getting the better end of this. Uber is not being used very well there from Epsilon, and they're going to lose the first round, and now it's 1-0 to Infused, and this is a well-welcomed first lead.
I think cookye was doing massive work there, just sort of behind the line of those iron sheets right there at the spawns while everybody was looking forward. Cookye had sneaked behind and just out-DM'd some of the spawners. And if Epsilon had turned around and killed cookye, they might have held that, but they didn't, and he just came in after the Uber had feed it and did big meat shots right there. And Epsilon are going to roll out with a more standard strat this time. No heavy and no sniper on middle. But wow, numlocked jumps fast and takes down wltrs on the flanks. And there's a soldier bombing in there. Gear goes in and gets Greg, tries to get numlocked as well. But Epsilon, just such a defensive stance right here. I think they're expecting aggression from Infused. But what's actually happening is that Infused are just picking off the Epsilon players. Real tactical battle.
We're still Walter's going spy now, actually. I want to point that out. Am I the only one, James, who feels like Epsilon has not played this map a lot?
Yeah, well, Slick said as much. And I played a few games with Infused when they were practicing this. And their basic strategy on the middle was that Mike would sort of get the buff, and he would jump fast across the middle, but numlocked is always playing fast to the right side on middle. You know, he tries to cut off any aggression on those the stairs on the right, and he picked off wltrs right at the start of the round there and forced him to rage spy, and he's gone down again. So wltrs really not doing his team any favours, and Uber forced and popped here, but sort of not great positioning from Epsilon. They want to try and hold up top.
It looks like Epsilon is going to hold this fine. As I said, second point is quite easy to hold if you get a couple of frags in, if you keep your position as much as possible. We can see numlocked doing a buttload of damage at the moment, and he is still alive. Now he's 14 HP, and there we go. Randa does a lot of work here with his team to get it with gear, and it seems like Infused being a little bit of an off situation. One soldier still around, both scouts just respawned, so Greg and cookye are going to be fine covering the middle area, and Epsilon's not going to be able to push out just yet. See Mike fighting another soldier there, and he is going to trade kills there together with gear. Probably going to exchange a couple of smileys, because that happens about 100 times per map.
Well, that was like that came out in favour of Mike for sure. He was on half health when that happened, and they do have the spawn advantage. But interesting to see right there when Dunc went down. Again, it was just him and numlocked. Obviously that's their strategy. Numlocked gets the heals, but if they had a soldier with them as Epsilon did, it might have been a different story. But it doesn't really matter, because pushing from 2 to 3 can be quite tricky.
There we go. Epsilon's going to try to push, but oh, wow. I'm just looking at F2. He's just leaving Randa and being like, okay, I need to cover this, and we can see that Randa got picked off, and now Epsilon cannot really do anything. They know there's a backup going on. They're going to go back for it, but it just seems like Epsilon, they were kind of indecisive. Like, they knew there was someone behind them, and they were like, yeah, shall we go back? Shall we push? And Randa kind of bit the dust by having that happening to him, because they have to walk into the top now. Where is Infused going to push from? Looks like they're just playing it safe just for now, and going to see, is the left side, is the right side a lot better? Are they going to wait for a pick? It's a very common tactic as well. Obviously we know Gear loves going water already because he did it once.
Maybe they're gonna park the bus, classic Infused style, and just sit in a 1-0 lead. But I see them pushing down the lower ramp, and what they basically do here is that they're gonna Uber Mike through. He's gonna jump up behind to that other little platform, and then Num's gonna try and force the Uber. But this is the strategy. I saw them on PC doubles, and he's actually caught Randa off guard here.
Oh.
Defensive Uber from F2 right there, and Mike's on behind, and nobody's looking at Mike right now. This could be really dangerous if he goes up top here.
Everyone dies to Stefan though, James. This is not working out that well for Infused. And flisko comes in from behind. Mike comes in from behind. Is he going to take F2? It does not look like it. Is he going to take it out? He gets 2 picks. Is he going to get a third? It does not look like it. Mike now gets taken out. And with cookye and numlocked spawning, I think the fight for a third can actually be very interesting here, as F2 has a couple of players together with him, and F2 has a good amount of health, but numlocked and now Greg, and now the rest of the Infused players, it is not really an easy to push situation. We spoke about this earlier. It's very, very tough to push and, in general, just get something happening on Freight. It's a very tough map to force aggression, and it's very easy to defend, so... Even though Epsilon right now has the Uber advantage, mid is definitely not capped just yet.
Yeah, there's just such a long line of sight here from the doors of two CP3, so you can defend it quite easily and jump away, but check this out, wltrs is running Spy, so this whole push might be just a bit of a ruse to try and get Infused off guard so wltrs can sneak in around the back here.
Infused needs to count scouts right now. Obviously wltrs getting a rocket in the face, that's not going to help. If they count scouts and only see Stefan running scout, they have to be like, there is either a sniper or a spy, we know. And now both Ubers actually get forced.
Train!
No,
Oh
train!
my god, F2!
No! Gets picked by the train, and the smiley faces are coming in, the picks are coming in, and Infused is most certainly going to pick this unless Randa jumps behind. I think that is the only way how this is going to change. If Randa somehow gets behind and caps middle, it's not going to happen, and we have the first train kill of the day, James.
Yeah, I just saw that coming like in slow motion, like a car crash. Oh,
like
wow.
your old karate movie, James. The old karate movie where everything goes in slow motion for just a second, and F2 kind of reaching his hand out towards the front of the train. You can see his eyes popping out, and here we go. That's when it happened.
Yeah, I think he made his peace with his creator right there. He was trying to Uber his teammates, and then he looked around and saw a freight train coming right for him. But right now it's the freight train of Infused who's bearing down on them here with a 20% Uber advantage. And they're just going to start pushing anyway, but wltrs is saying, Headshot right there onto Mike.
Was a bit greedy there from Mike trying to pick that obviously against a sniper and an engineer. It's not really easy to bomb a medic. Like, I mean, let's put that out there. The only thing missing from that defense from Epsilon against the bombing soldier is heavy with the medic. And he would have been perfectly fine. Infused, they're waiting. Like, it's an Uber versus Uber scenario. We're back into the Stalemate scenario, and even though F2 got trained, everything now is perfectly fine. Here we go, heavy NG sniper. Pyro. I said it's not weird. I just want to point it out. This is not weird. Even though the Ubers get popped right now, F2 doesn't have to do anything because it's a very defensive map. You cannot push through that. And now there we go. The pick goes on Dunc. This is how you want to push last. You want to get wiped on last. You want to lose your second and you want to push on. I say it jokingly, but it's going to happen. I'm telling you right now, numlocked and randa, both them might get taken out. Infused getting a couple of picks, and this is what I said.
Yeah, the spawns are
going to try.
It's the bomb as well. Flisko just jumps past that heavy. That's KnOxXx looking the wrong way right there. F2 goes down, and Infused are going to make this 2-0.
You think? It's not completely sure yet, though. Randa comes in.
Oh. Called it too soon, didn't I, Patrick?
Yeah, you called it too soon. This is how you want to push second. Is you want to let the enemy team think they win, and you want to kill them and then push for second. Freight is a very different map, James.
Yeah. Connor's calling you out there on STV saying, Pledge, stop trying to predict shit. You've been told, bro.
I'm being told about 1,000 times already. It's the sort of costing curse or something. I want to call it like that. It's the way it goes, and the second round keeps going on. I don't know who's going to win this half, but if someone predicted 29 minutes and 59 seconds, you might win. And I'm not going to call anything right now, but I can see a spy for mine.
It's not easy being Pledge Stradamus, you know, where you know everything that's going to happen. It must be quite boring to cast when you already know what's happening. I love the way you pretend to be excited.
The train just barely gets covered up. Where's Mike? Where is he? He's still playing spy. Where is he? I'm just going to look. Mike is behind. Did he get called? He might have been called. Yeah, he did. There you go. Everyone is trying to actually kill Mike there. He went for the sapper on the NG. don't bug Sticky is what Randa's saying. To me, that's a valid thing. I don't know if Randa's being honest. I think he is. But to me, that Sticky is not a bad thing, so Long's able to do that.
Air Stickies on the train. That's what he's... I don't know, I haven't read the rules, I couldn't tell you if that's
not banned.
Making Stickies float in the air. There's a spy on the point though, he's been spotted though. Mike really needs to step up his spy game. I expect him to be putting in hundreds of hours on MGE as spy after this game, but today it's not working for him.
The thing is though, Epsilon's never going to push. I mean, let's analyze this for just a little bit. It's like we have a golden cap right now with 10 minutes remaining. Epsilon is not going to be able to push this, and Infused is not going to be able to push this. Looks like Infused is going to try once more. They should have learned their lesson by now. In fact, dunc is missing this, and Infused is going to get backfired because I called this earlier, and because I am not always right, but I'm mainly right. So here we go. Dunc is going to be able to get picked off. He's 7 HP. Heals his heavy with an arrow. Wow. Haven't seen that before in a league game just yet, but dunc managing to make that work. Mike, 35 HP, does now get taken down. And Epsilon, again, now they're going to push for second, and now they're going to get taken down and lose last.
Yeah, the healing power of that crossbow is... Oh, F2 goes down to Greg. I had no idea where he came from, but at the same time it's dunc and numlocked from the top, including those stickies, and... Oh, Randa's got stickies on short. Will he switch it up?
Did I not call it, James?
Oh,
did I not
went
call
down
it?
as well. Gear again doing work.
It's as soon as I call it, they fail. There you go. I'm not going to say anything anymore. This is the way Outbreak is supposed to be played. Everyone is going to off-class. But going back to my earlier point, because we're getting back into the stalemate situation, Epsilon's not going to be able to push unless they get a pick towards second. They're not going to be able to push this. So even though Infused is 1-0 up, what they need to do, and there's only 5 minutes on the clock, so my point isn't really valid anymore.
Are you seeing Walters right here?
I'm not seeing Walters, actually.
That's spies right behind dunc right now.
Oh,
goes for the soldier instead. Oh, what a whiff.
Like, the thing is, Infused can pick a sniper and a spy right now, and just go for picks. Just keep going for F2. Keep going all the time. And even though they might fail 15 times, if they succeed once, they can win. And they kind of need to keep doing that. Looks like Infused is going to send in a sniper. Oh, there we go. Gear does get picked. It's not really the pick you want to look for. You want to get F2 here. Sniper gets picked. Uber gets forced. And this might be the chance Infused is looking for. dunc barely gets the Uber in time. But again, as I said, last point, quite easy to defend. The players from, let's see, Gear's going to spawn in 5 seconds. So it's going to be a bit of a weird hold as they're going to try to, but the point does get capped 2-0. And 12 minute, looks like it was an 11-minute round, guys. 11-minute round, that's what it was. But it's going to be 2-0 lead for Infused. It doesn't look like Epsilon knows. They don't actually know how to play this map on middle properly, James. Let's see if they do it differently. But
yeah, and both scouts from Epsilon are rushing the point right here. They're going to get really aggressive onto numlocked because they know he's playing that right side fast. Great read on the game right there from Walters and Stefan. Walters goes down, but Stefan stays alive, and Infused is just going to throw caution to the wind here, bombing flisko in to try and get F2, but he is getting... Oh, he does get him in the end! Wow, nobody covered flisko right there. He jumped behind and everybody took their eye off the ball. flisko gets F2 and dunc stays alive. Classic dunc play right there.
Yeah, to be honest, like, Infused played that sort of textbook, but not really. Like, I feel they do have an Uber advantage right now. Uber advantage is not really going to be too valuable on last, but what you want to do is when you lose it, what happened there from Infused, analysing for just a little bit, is that dunc dropped out and said, you know what, everyone go for F2. They managed to take him down, lost 4 players, but they managed to take down F2. Epsilon capped second without their medic, but now we have this weird stalemate again. Infused is going to want to push, but it's a very tough point to push. We said it before, got to say it again. This is going to be very difficult, especially with Walters there, a sniper. He gets the headshot in. Uber does get forced, and we can see Infused trying to make something work, but one pick not going to be enough. I think Epsilon's going to try to make something happen. They're coming in from the top. A lot of spam coming in from that soldier. A lot of spam coming back, and we can see Randa being a little bit safe on the right side. Point does get capped, and it looks like Infused does get the better end of it. So well played from Infused, capping the second point. But the Uber disadvantage is still there. So Epsilon is going to have to be careful. Protect F2 just now. Make sure Infused doesn't get the pick. Because I can assure you, Mike is going to look to pick F2 right now.
Yeah, it's not easy to jump out from those doors. Such great lines of sight. And Epsilon have actually just given up the yard here. numlocked peeked out and he's going to be calling for his team. And it's because Epsilon are setting up a trap here. They've tried to come over the wall, but Mike and numlocked spot it immediately and do massive work right there. Focusing down 2 frags. And this is looking really scrappy right here. It is 3-on-3 though, both medics still alive, but dunc hasn't got uber yet. F2 has popped, so that's a 75% advantage for dunc right here. And Epsilon are sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place right here. There is a scout behind it. It's cookye. He's only 9 HP, but that doesn't mean he can't kill F2. And they're trying to land some stickies on him. He's gone for the med pack. Epsilon support is coming in right now, and cookye is going to wisely back off.
Yeah. It seems like Epsilon didn't really know. Like, that cookye behind, dunc at a point in front, and they chose to back out. Very safe. And now dunc does have the Uber. He didn't get killed. Now he does have the Uber. Infused is going to push this. And with numlocked first, they have to pick off numlocked. That's the way it goes. Numlocked needs to get picked off because that's the heart of the Infused team. So Walter's trying to go behind. Does get taken out. Gear's quite weak as well. This is the moment for Infused to push. Numlocked gets buffed up. And Infused, how are you going to play this? It looks like they're going to try to take the point for free. A lot of spam coming in from Epsilon. It's a bit of an iffy situation here as Mike does get taken out, so it's a 5 versus 5 scenario with Walter spotting. Numlocked gets taken out, Flisko gets taken out, and this Uber has failed massively.
Yeah, Epsilon, every middle they love to play from that wall. They just like to draw the Infused players into a position where Epsilon actually have an advantage, using that height advantage and the choke points there rather than the wide open spaces. And F2 just backed out and allowed his players to force dunc, and now he's got the Uber advantage. And they're going to cap this, and this could be what they needed. Look at Infused here though, they're going to contest this. They're sitting 2-0 up, why not just go for it? They bombed in here and they forced F2, that's exactly what they wanted to do, but have they lost too many players to defend here? Numlocked and dunc are separated right now. Dunc has gone down the long side, whereas Numlocked has just met him on the point now, and he doesn't have a sticky trap up yet. Because he's being harassed by a scout as Walter's on the point.
Infused seems to be fine for last here, but Epsilon is going to take the second point quite uncontested. Like, there's nothing Infused can do here because of the choke points. They don't have enough spam power. So Infused is going to be fine for last, and they're going to have to make sure they hold as long as Epsilon has done in the past. Epsilon's going to want to push this because obviously 8 minutes left, not a lot. Like, I'm afraid that's not a lot if you want to get 2 caps back. So Walters now gets taken down. I'm presuming that was on purpose because he wants to off-class this, so I presume that that's kind of bomb in was on purpose from a scout. You can see dunc having the Uber. It looks like Infused actually going to push this. I'm a little bit surprised by the James.
Yeah, they're just not scared at all of Epsilon, and F2 is up top. He's Ubered a soldier here to block. They have forced, and that's a multi-Uber right there from Infused. F2 does flash a few of his players as well, but no one is challenging numlocked right now because they're just going to push ahead on long, but Num has seen it. He's going to be switching up his stickies, and they're all going to be focused on this slope right now. Randa bombs in, soldier jumps in as well, and F2 is pushing with his scouts here. This is just pure deathmatch versus deathmatch, Pledge.
What a play there from Epsilon so far. Are they going to get it fags? And it does look like cookye's the last one alive. 2-1. What a play there from Epsilon. I love that bomb in from Randa. I love it so much because it created the space for the 2 soldiers to push in themselves by a rocket jump. But it makes the healing for F2 so much easier by just having a roaming demo man like that. Very well played from Epsilon, managing to cap last. But I keep with my opinion that Infused should not have pushed second there. They should not have done it.
Well, they had Uber advantage, so in that sense it was perfectly correct, but it's what happened after. And whoa, Gear gets taken down right there, but it doesn't matter because he's already killed Greg, and Walters just picked off Mike and cookye. Oh, the aggressive play from Randa as well here, bombing in, getting flisko. Numlocked is 64 HP. Randa knows it. He smells blood in the water, gets that kill. Dunc fires off a bolt, but it doesn't matter. He's down 2, and this is going to be 2-0. Sorry, 2-2.
I wouldn't call that just yet, but we can see Epsilon being 6 versus 3, Uber versus no Uber. If there was any situation where Epsilon would cap this, I would say it's this one, but the players are going to spawn just a little bit, and numlocked trying to make it happen as much as he possibly can, but there's so many Epsilon players who get the frags 1 by 1 and 2 to 2 with 6 minutes remaining on the clock. Now it can go either way. I would have loved to say Infused got this. 10 minutes ago I would have said Infused got this, hands in the bag, everything is done. But now it's 6 minutes remaining, 2-all, and the 5th middle on its way, James. I'm not sure anymore.
Hands in a bag. That's a new one to me.
I missaid that. I was hoping you didn't hear it, but
momentum for Epsilon for sure right here. Look at this aggressive positioning from the scouts. This is Mike as well, being the aggressor. Everybody looks around from Epsilon. Infused might be able to capitalize here. Cookye gets one, and Randa goes down as well. Real great distraction play from Mike, and but somehow it's Infused who are looking the worst off right now. 3 up for Epsilon, but Dunc survives yet again.
No, Nox is on him at the moment. It does manage to get a med back, and that's Soldier versus Medic. Nox is safely going to retreat out of there, but F2 did go down at that minute. I thought he was going to survive with 3 HP. Didn't. He managed to get taken out by Cookie coming from the side. Infused is in a bit of an off situation right now. Like, they need to defend second. They are going to do that, no problem. But how do you push third effectively without giving up the safe position that you're in right now with 2-all?
They're gonna have to push here. Like, they're pushing already. Actually, they've got a massive Uber advantage.
Yeah.
They just don't play that way, and they pushed out here. Oh wow, numlocked is taking a lot of damage right here, even with the full heals. He's already on half health.
Oh, Cookie gets taken out. It seems like Infused, as I said before, it's a little bit of a weird scenario. It's 5 versus 3. Uber is still in charge, but F2 is going to get this Uber quite safely. Uber does now get forced, and F2 and Randa are going to manage to get out of there alive. And with the players now spawning for Epsilon, this is the exact scenario from 15 seconds ago, but exactly turned around, James. Let's see how Epsilon is going to handle this.
Yeah, that was really nice from Dunc right there, I have to admit. He held on to his Uber for a long time. Epsilon were just expecting to to pop the Uber, and he just he baited them. He killed 3 Epsilon players there who were trying to get the force. And they have forced F2 here on the other side, and they're pushing out, and they've got numlocked over a barrel right here. Dunc goes down, and F2 gets out, but there's quite a few players up and pushing in right now.
If you should be pushing this,
He
James,
goes towards the flank. There's 2 scouts right behind him right now. Nox and Gear are... It's a great awareness there from Nox, actually.
Epsilon is just such a bad position.
And numlocked comes in, totally smashed them right there, coming in from both angles. Classic pincer maneuver. Nothing they could do about that. There is F2 in the corner here.
He's stuck behind the train.
Oh my god!
Well played by Stefan and F2 there, making short work of everyone there from Infused. He was trying to push in, but the push has not stopped just yet. Obviously, Infused, I don't know, man. Like, they lost Dunc, but the blood was right there from Epsilon. Like, the blood was right there, and they were like, you know what? I think we got this. And I can imagine Dunc and numlocked shouting at him, like, go, just go, we got this. And yeah, in the end, they did have it. Oh my god. Can please someone pull up the volume from the train, please?
Ballers. What's up, bro? There's another train!
There's the second train! Second train, and the push actually comes in. Dunc gets taken out, and Mike gets taken out by the sentry. This is a very weird scenario. I don't think we've seen this on any other map before, James. Uber does get forced. Cookie gets taken out, Greg gets taken out, and Epsilon's going to push this back. 2 minutes on the clock. It is still doable. I mean, let's not forget that. It is still doable, but now Mike rolling that heavy gun. Oh, I think Mike can actually manage to make this work if he stands in a proper position onto that concrete wall. Does manage to go to the bottom now. Is he going to go up? Yes, he is going to go up. There's no bombing soldier coming in for Dunc now, I can tell you that.
Alright, I'm gonna give you a little poser here. Put yourself in the shoes of Epsilon. You've been 2 rounds down for like the first 25 minutes, 20 minutes of this map. You've managed to scrape it back to 2-2. You've got 1 minute 30 left. You've won the first map. If you go to a golden cap, you're gonna win no matter what.
Yeah.
Will you just hold? Will you park the bus? Or will you push here?
Epsilon is gonna, like, they have no other chance right now but to hold. Like, you're not gonna cap Freight in 1 minute 30 seconds. They're not gonna do it. They should know this themselves. So right now, all they can get is a 5-1 win, not a 6-0 win for ETF2L scoreline, but a 5-1 win. That's the only thing right now possible for them. And to do that, they're going to have to hold this. 2-2, 2-all, 1 minute 10 seconds. James, what are you laughing at? I didn't see.
Mike just ran in with shotgun out there. His Gear was reloading his rockets. Forced Uber as a heavy. The class who is so fucking fat and slow that he can't chase shit, but somehow manages to force and get his team position on the point right here. I don't know, that was just a comedy of errors right there. He's picked up another frag onto Nox, and I think Epsilon might be throwing this one out here.
45 seconds, James, and I can see Cookie saying best map in IRC. I have no idea what that means. Is that a spoiler or is it not? He typed in IRC, I'm not sure what that means, and here we go. As Infused is going to try to push in, and Epsilon's going to hold on for their lives, but the heavy is going to come in, and is it going to be 3-2? It does look like it. There we go, 3-2.
Wow.
And Infused is going to tie up this game, 7-2 on Gully Wars, 3-2 on Freight, and wow, what a result, James.
That was an inspired choice to go heavy right there. If they didn't have that heavy already in the game, I'm not sure if they would have capped that in time. But bit of just a bit of a comedy of errors, like I say, from the Epsilon soldiers. Really forcing F2's hand there. He had to Uber to save, and then once the Uber's out of the equation, the heavy's just so powerful because he has so many hit points. You have to focus him down. But I'll let you do an outro, bro.
Yeah, let's do the outro, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at VanillaTV for another fantastic night of TF2 action here on Thursday, February 23rd, 2012, with me, Pledge, and Admirable working the microphones for tonight. Warden was on the stream. Thanks to everyone at VanillaTV for helping out for the competition as well. Please redeem your prize. I love all of you. Thank you very much for joining us here for Team Infused against Epsilon. Gully Washer Freight, and it's a draw 3-3 in ETF2L scoreline. See you guys.